G'day guys, welcome to part 4 of the CY Models Edge 540 series. In this series, it's a series of videos where I'm going about refurbishing / rebuilding a CY Models Edge 540 aerobatic aircraft. So, the last video I showed the engine that I had bought for it. And for those may have forgotten, it's an RCGF Stinger 35cc engine. We did the very first test, and off camera I ran the engine some more, did the initial, I guess you could call it initial break-in. In the instruction manual, it recommends to run at about 2,500 RPM for about 20 minutes. So I've done that. So really the engine itself is ready to go into the model, but that's a little way off yet. So some of the things I've been contemplating on or working around is what needs to be done. So if I just quickly flip the camera, I'll show you what I intend to do in this video and what to prepare for the next video. Alrighty guys, so as we see here, it was part 2. I did the somewhat finished redid the motor plate for the front for the aircraft. The original one was just cut out and chunked to pieces. In this video, what I intend to do is finish it and strengthen it. I need to sand away some of the CA glue that's bubbled in certain areas. What I intend to do is use some 5-minute epoxy first to go around the edges to seal it around the front here. I intend to do at the back and some wood support at the back just to add a bit of bracing. Then what I intend to do is I intend to reinforce it with carbon fiber. How I intend to do that, you ask? I have this right here. This, folks, is essentially what carbon fiber is. It is carbon strands that are woven, and this is carbon fiber, I guess you could say, in its, well, not so much in its raw form, but in its unepoxied form. So things like carbon fiber plate. What could I use as an example? Okay, so I'll show you my Formula 1 car that I have. So I did a build series of this. So for those that are wondering, so this is carbon fiber. The chassis in that is carbon fiber. So things like the lower arms, the lower chassis plate, and so forth. That's what this stuff is. And what it is you have multiple layers of it on top of each other. And how it's usually done is it's epoxy. The layers are epoxied together, and you'll get, like, say, 6 or 7 layers epoxied together, and then it's either pressed or vacuum sealed and then allowed to set, and then it comes out hard like this, and it is really strong. So that's how you get carbon fiber plate, is you have the carbon fiber matting, and it's epoxied and layer on layer, and you end up with that. So, but what I intend to do is with this carbon fiber here, once I have gone around with the 5-minute epoxy to fill in the gaps and so forth, I also have some wood filler. I will use that as well. I will then go around the front and the top here and inside as well with this carbon fiber. Now I do recommend that you use gloves for this, especially when you are cutting carbon fiber. Carbon fiber can cause a little bit of damage to the skin. It can be sharp. And also, people, if you are unaware, carbon fiber is an electrical conductor. I can't demonstrate right now, but if you were to have a battery and a wire going to a light globe, and you have this touching either the positive or negative of the battery and touching the other part of the globe, you will actually have a current. So yes, be very careful with anything electrical, because this is an electrical conductor, and it also is a radio wave disruptor as well. So make sure things like with your radio system and your aerials aren't touching carbon fiber as well. So what I'm going to do, guys, is off camera, I'm going to do the epoxy and wood filling first, and we'll be back. Alrighty, guys, so I have gone about with wood filler around the edges here, and I have also gone in, have to excuse me a sec, I'm just going to move some junk out of the way. I have gone in and strengthened the back part of the motor plate. So what I've done, instead of my big fat fingers, I'll just use this makeshift pointer here. So what I've done is in here, so this is the motor plate. What this is here, this is a block of wood that I've actually cut in half. So there are two halves. I'm sorry if the light's not good, so I'll hold the camera at this angle. So I have two halves of this at each side, and what I've done is I have epoxied them to the back there, so it's essentially touching the bottom part here, the sides, and touching the motor plate. So it's strengthened around 3 areas here. It's not touching the top part, but the main parts are the bottom, the motor plate, and the sides. That's where I've strengthened it there, and I've gone around the edges too with epoxy. For this part here, I have used, where did I put it? Yeah, I have used here, bumble fingers, I have used Z epoxy. This is just 5-minute epoxy. I've just used 5-minute epoxy around the inside here just to strengthen this area. What I intend to do next, I'll have to do a little bit of sanding after the bit more sanding from the wood filler. What I'll do, I'm going to do it off camera. It's going to be a lot of faffing about, but essentially what I'm going to do is I have the same sort of epoxy, except instead of 5-minute epoxy, it's going to be 30-minute epoxy, so I've got plenty of time. I have here the one sheet here of carbon fiber. This is the section I've cut out. That will go around, and then I will let it cure, and then I will do another one that goes over this way, so that way you've got strength there and there. Once that is done, what I'll do is I will carefully cut out around here. I may not cut out on the sides where you got the holes. I'm just a little wary of the strength of this fuselage. This airframe is fairly old, so I just want to be aware of the possible weaknesses. So I want it to be this section here as strong as possible, because it is going to be holding a 35cc engine on it. So I'm going to do the epoxying and all that off camera, and we'll be back. Alrighty guys, so it's been roughly 24 hours since I have put the carbon fiber on. I did say I was going to go around this way. That didn't go exactly as planned. So what I've done is I've put 3 layers of carbon fiber cloth over this way, over here, because I did attempt to put some carbon fiber over. There's a whole heap of epoxy on here, so in a way it probably added a bit of strength, but it is still a little bit tacky. I'm going to leave it probably another 12-15 hours before I do anything else. But what I'm going to do off camera is I will be trimming off the excess carbon. Now I know it looks like it's not sitting properly, don't worry, it's actually sitting as it should be in here. There's a lot of excess hanging over underneath, and like I feel here it's a bit tacky still, but it is rock hard. So it has essentially worked how I wanted it to. Now, like I said, I'm going to be cutting off, so like you see around here, you got the excess carbon, and especially down along here, like you can see, I've got my finger under here where there's excess. I'll be cutting that off. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with carbon fiber, this stuff is quite dangerous health-wise. So when you go, do you mind? Thank you. So when you are cutting carbon fiber, please have 3 aspects of safety. First aspect of safety is your eyes, second is your lungs, and third is your skin. So for eyes, have some eye protection, and also with your lungs, have a breathing mask on. And third, for your skin, have some latex gloves or even dishwashing gloves. I know it looks and sounds stupid, but what you need to realize, guys, is when you're cutting carbon fiber, especially like for instance with a where's my rotary tool? Okay, so over here we have my rotary tool here. So you got a cutting disc. If you're cutting it, this is very dangerous. This is, personally I would say, this is worse than cutting fiberglass. I would say, well, yeah, as bad if not worse than fiberglass. This stuff can do some serious damage to your lungs. It can damage your eyes if you get the dust, carbon dust there. And also with your skin as well, it can do some serious damage. So wear gloves, wear eye protection, and a mask for for breathing. And I also recommend, if you can, cut it outside, and I will be doing that as well. I will not be cutting the carbon fiber in here. So I will be taking it outside and cutting off any excess carbon that isn't needed. So what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to cut that, and we'll be back. Alrighty guys, so I have cut off the excess, and I have touched up a couple of areas where some epoxy resin wasn't quite saturated enough into the carbon cloth. For the most part, this is done. Probably I was hoping it would turn out a little bit better than it has, but like I said, it's not supposed to be pretty, it's supposed to be functional. So it's supposed to just add some strength to this section here for when I bolt the engine on. So for this part, it will be the end of this video. In the next video, I've had some things arrive for the model. One of the things I will be needing to work out is like these holes here, like the previous owner or the original builder of this model put, you know, a switch here, but he cut this out here. He cut this gaping big hole here. There was really no thought process to it, so I'm going to have to figure a few things out, how I'm going to go about covering these holes. I might just put a bit of tape over it for the time being, but yeah, so I've had while I've been filming this, I've had servos turn up, I've got fuel tank turn up and things like that. I will cover that in the next video. As you can see here, I have put a servo in for the rudder. I won't cover that, but like I've shown you, but I'm not going to go into detail about it. But there are a few things that I want to do in the next video. I want to actually put a plywood plate down here for my electronics, so for like my receiver and that. Yeah, but I'm happy with the way this has turned out. I'm happy with how the bracing has turned out. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that. For this, or say for this video. If you've liked the video, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you got any tips for me for anything, don't hesitate to drop a comment. I'll do my best to respond. I'm always open to ideas and tips and things like that. So that'll be the end of this video, guys. I've got this all reinforced now. So like I said, the next video we're going to cover the fuel tank and some of the electronics and things like that. So until then, guys, it's the end of this video. Enjoy your hobby and cheers.